drink their drinks. Because we are Margarita Mama.
Girl, do you have your glass of wine to join with us? All right, just real quick before I introduce Trish, I wanted to finish asking a couple questions that Brennan and I had last week that I wasn't able to finish answering. So one of the questions was, how often was Jimmy around and how did everyone feel about him and where did he go? So basically Jimmy was around for, I don't know, half of the show. And then for some reason he just left and the producers didn't tell us where he went. We were just as boggled as you were when you watched the show. But we found out later that I think he was having to tape an actual TV show or a series on some network, I'm not sure. And he just had to go film that. So then we had our other, I think her name was Nicole, come in and help us for the remainder of the time. But I know that everybody was sad to see Jimmy go. So were we. I had an opportunity to talk to him during a costume segment. And as you can, if you go and look back at that, I was actually talking to him for about 30 minutes until he got pulled away. So awesome talent. And we really enjoyed him. He was a favorite with us too. So anyway, so that was one of the questions. The other questions, like, why were my feet so nasty? So Phil, said my feet were nasty, but he didn't say anything about it when he was enjoying giving them a rub. But I think what happened was I usually give myself pedicures and lotion them up every night, and they're nice and soft. But I had 3 weeks of quarantine, and we weren't able to do anything. We couldn't go outside except for twice a day for 45 minutes, and we had to be assisted. And also, we weren't able to get our nails done, our hair done, anything. So what you see on the show is literally us quarantining 2 to 3 weeks. Our roots of our hair were coming out. I mean, it was just really messed up, but we got through it. So, in LA, we had a quarantine in LA. Each of us had, the fathers had the hotel room with their kids, and the mothers had a hotel with their kids. Some of us had to be split up. Most of us did. Production didn't want any of us to see each other and the candidate's point of view. So it was really a huge operation with trying to, just make everybody mysterious, having everybody go into different schedules so nobody cross each other when they're going out for walks or whatever. So very organized, very had to do COVID tests every day. But we were pretty much in our hotel room 24/7, Brennan and I, at least for 3 weeks straight. So, but anyway, so that was a couple of questions that I had to answer from last week. So my next castmate, Trish, I know that she's a favorite amongst the viewers. She's amazing. She's from Kentucky. Everybody loves Trish. I love Trish. In fact, when we were quarantining, my son was in a hotel room on the balcony, and he heard in between, there's 2 balconies, there's just balconies together here, and 2 gals with southern accents were talking when he was sitting down talking to each other across his balcony. And he was trying to be real, he knew that he wasn't supposed to see anybody from the show, and he was trying to obey the rules. And so he told me that, I don't know, for maybe a week or so, or a few days, they were all talking and understood that we were all on the show together. And my son fell in love with them, Trish and his daughter Whitney, and reported back to me and said, you know what, I accidentally talked to them because they're right next to me in the patio and they're not supposed to be there. But I think she's going to be one of your very best friends. You guys are going to hit it off so well. You're going to love each other. You're going to love her. And I said, okay. So my son knows me well enough to know that. So I had to tell the producers that were at the hotel that he was actually sandwiched between these 2. So they moved him because we were all trying to obey the rules and trying to, be surprised when we met people on the set. So anyway, so when I got to the house, I walked in, I just knew this was Trish. I saw her immediately and I'm like, oh my God, she's a light, she's a sunshine, and she's going to be my girl. I think she's going to be great, have great energy. And so that's exactly what happened. So I'd love to introduce to you Trish. Trish, can you come on? What? Let me see. Let me see where you are. Here we go. Can you request it again, honey? There we go. Where are you, in the dark?
I know, listen. I'm at the airport. Let me is that better?
Yes.
Can you see me now?
Yes. Hey, Trish. So Trish is just coming back from Mexico. She's on a connecting flight, and this is how amazing she is. She has a connecting flight. They were celebrating Dania's birthday, and now they're coming back home, and she's like, I can do the live. It's great. And I said, are you sure? She's like, yeah. I said, then go grab yourself a cocktail and have it with us. You have it?
Got
Woo!
it. It is.
All right.
Margarita, you got yours? You got wine?
Oh, I know. I wanted a margarita, but I have a glass of wine.
That's okay. That's okay. We got mine. I'll drink it.
So first of all, before we begin, I just wanted to say cheers to my mom, your dad. Cheers to Greg Daniels and Haley Daniels for creating such an awesome, fun, warm heart, awesome show, funny show. I'm glad that all the viewers are really enjoying this, and we're really pleased to bring all this fun to you. And I know, there's a ton of fans out there that it's just kind of like a sleeper hit, right? So it's just been kind of gradually becoming more and more out there, viral, and being on the Wendy show and all that stuff. So cheers to the producers and to the creators and to the cast and crew of My Mom, Your Dad, and everybody, please raise your glasses.
Look at my nails.
Cheers to you. Bottoms up. Cheers. Here we go.
I got my margarita mama right now.
Got my red
if I'm
wine.
moving, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get in better light so everyone can see me.
Well, just turn towards the light, girl.
All right.
Towards the light.
There we go. Can you see me better there?
Not really, but
you can hear me.
We can see you in your cute little cap.
Hey, listen. Hey,
there we go.
You can hear me. If you can hear me, that's all we count for, right?
All right. So I wanted to have you on the show tonight because, you're a popular one. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Trish and her daughter are TikTok stars. How many viewers do you have or followers?
Let's see. On TikTok, I have 1.7 million. Whitney has 2.3 million, I think. I think it's her smiles.
To the point where she shut down her hairstyling.
Yeah. After 22 years, I sold it. Started just content and creating, and ended at and then look what happened. Now we're on an HBO Max show together.
Seriously, it's crazy. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to be an 18-year-old TikToker. Okay?
No,
you can be a middle-aged TikToker and still make a living doing it, actually.
That's right. And you can be as old as 46, 50. It don't matter. Just create content, get on a video, share it. And you know what? People will love each and every one of everyone. So it'll work out. Just do it.
That's right.
Don't be scared to do it.
That's
YOLO.
Right. So I just want to talk about when we first met. Obviously, it's first day. I came in a week after you guys already were established with everybody. And Kiki and I came in. Kiki came first, and then I came last. I was the last female to come into the house. And you all were sitting there talking, and I immediately knew that you were the Trish that my son was talking about, and you had great energy. So what was your thoughts when I came?
My thought, as soon as I seen you walk in, I knew. I was like, that's Brennan's mom. Because remember, like you told him before that, he was put in between us. And then I just, off of his energy, and then when you walked in, I was like, that's Steph, that's her, that's Brennan's mom right there. And then I remember, like, when I hugged you, it was like I already knew you. You know what I mean? It's like I already know. It was like I couldn't wait to get to you, because when you walked in the show, I was like, that's her. I'm going to hug her. I can't wait. Because I knew how nervous, like, because you had just got there. So I just, and you know how, like, you feel like you can't talk or anything, or we couldn't, it was on ice, so we couldn't say anything. So I just would feel so bad, because I wanted to tell you so many things, like, no, you just, you're fine. Just, so I just wanted to, like, just tell you all these things, and I couldn't. And I think at one point, I think from your heels, was it your heels or something? You needed a Band-Aid. And I was like, I got you, girl. Remember that I went into the bathroom and then I couldn't talk to you because I didn't know because cameras are around. And I thought, are we allowed to talk now? Or what? But I was like, I'm going to take care of her. And then I went and got you a Band-Aid. And it was just a good, I just knew when you walked in and that was Steph. That was Brennan's mom.
Yeah, we connected immediately and it was great. And you were always so warm and inviting and super funny and just the life of the party. Everybody loves you. You don't have even a hater. So I see why. So, but I want to talk about some of the fun we had together. Not a lot of people know a lot about the background scene, that, you know, the stuff that happened behind the scenes. And that's seriously some of the most awesome footage. And I can't believe they didn't
You know what? Hopefully they're showing it off or waiting for the next season to show it because that was the funnest part of the show.
Totally, it was. We had so much fun. But you and I mean, I said, you know, on my post, I was like, you know, out of all, that we had pretty much the most party in us out of anybody. And not saying to diss anybody, but we stayed up the latest.
Stayed up till what, 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Would get back up. Like it was like you had to be up at 6 o'clock, start filming, and then we were like, you was up on the. Thank God you took the top bunk because you know I couldn't have got down from there. You just jump up, you pop up, and you'd pop up out of there, and you'd be like, what time? I'm like, we got to do it again. It's time. I know we've only had like 2 hours sleep, boo, but we got to go. Half the time they couldn't even find you, Stephanie, because
I remember like you waking up still in that red robe you put on for just the footage. They made us film. Okay, you guys, they made us get in. Okay, I have to tell you some little ins and outs here. They made us film us going up into the bathroom at night. All the lights are shut off, and of course we have cameras in the bedroom. We're all in one bedroom in bunk beds. And they made us get up and act like we're going to the bathroom, closing the door and coming back out. Okay.
Taking turns. Yeah.
Kiki has a funny story, but I'll wait to talk with her.
Yeah.
My God. So what happened was the women's room was a disaster. It was like a tornado. Came in there. I walked in the first time. I'm like, what is going on? I'm all clothes all over my bed. You got everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Closet they've taken over, and I'm just like, oh my God, where am I supposed to put anything? And we didn't know what we were supposed to wear.
But you took control of it because see, when we got there, we weren't allowed to put our stuff out in that hall. And then all of a sudden, Stephanie's like, where am I going to put my stuff? And then we were like, I don't know. I mean, this is all we got. And then the next thing you know, like Stephanie's like putting all of her stuff out in the hall. And when you're filming, you're not allowed to have anything out. But Stephanie comes in and was like, no, I'm putting my stuff in here. And I was like, if we would have known that, we would have put our stuff there. But Stephanie came in and was like, I'm putting it here. This is what I'm doing. So then I started storing stuff where Stephanie had because I'm like, I'm following suit because I don't have no much room as anybody else in there. So it was pretty funny. She took over and did it.
Oh my God. Well, it's like a bedroom for one person. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's just a closet. And we had 4 and 5 women at the time.
Yeah.
For a short time when Karen was there, and then she left.
So there were 5 twin beds in there in one room.
And we, of course, brought 3 times the amount of closet wardrobe because we had no idea what they wanted us to wear. Yeah. So we had to bring like 2 full suitcases of like 80 pounds a piece to bring for up 2 weeks.
Did you go over in your overage on in the airport of the poundage and did you go over with your suitcases and stuff?
No, I know you did, but okay for that.
You would. You look like you had tons of clothes too.
But anyway, so we did this whole night scene, and they didn't use any of the footage of that either. But I didn't even get dressed up. I just wore what I wore, and then the girls were all they cleaned up the rooms, spotless, and then they put on their like their sexy lingerie robes with red and fur and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I have my plaid shorts with my tank top, and I'm just gonna do what I do. And so it was just like, what was it like?
They didn't even use those parts.
Housewives of like Simi Valley. I don't know. Single housewives. It was so funny. And we were creeping around the corner, and they didn't use any of that footage, but that was fun. But I wanted to talk about like the time that we actually, Dania and you and I were in the hot tub till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And that was the first time I've actually really engaged much with you guys.
Yeah.
And you're kind of giving me the lay of the land, but we had some cocktails that were left over from a party, the first party that we had.
Yeah, yeah. We talked just about everything. I think empowering each other. What else did we talk about? I mean, there was so much we talked about. I don't even know. It was so much. I don't. Just I think the whole situation of us being on the show, where we come from, our backgrounds, how independent that you were, like what you did for your life. Like I don't know. It's just a bunch of things. Like a bunch of things. I can't even remember. But I think that was our first real bonding and getting to know each woman in the hot tub that night. Like I think that's, like you said, where it first started, in that hot tub.
Yeah, it was just really fun. It was a really fun, lively conversation. We had a couple drinks, and it was just like, oh my gosh, we're like Mom's Gone Wild. We're out here at 3 o'clock in the morning with this amazing view in the middle of nowhere in Simi Valley.
Just beautiful.
It was pretty fun. So I wanted to talk about the Margarita Mama birth, the birth of the Margarita Mama. So I think it was another night. I don't know if Kiki remembers, but I know it's the four of us that Dania, you and I, and Kiki had margaritas. And was that on another party night that we had a party? Or was that the same night?
I think that was a different night. Because is that the night that maybe Grant and you and all them did that, like kind of like a little video? And then me and you ended up staying up later, I think.
Yeah, that was the night where we were like running around the house by ourselves.
That's the night, right? Isn't that the night?
And I think so, but we started off with like Dania and Kiki, and then they ended up going to sleep. But but we made the margaritas. I love it. And then I started saying, it's like, Margarita Mama. Like
just all of a sudden, like you did. And then you were like, Margarita. And then we were running around the house, like going upstairs, downstairs, going out the entryway. Like, I want that footage just for us. Like, I want that. Like, if they could just send us that clip for us and our grandkids and our great grandkids, like, they need to know that the moms still party at night.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, we were the only two, if you think about it, we were the only two that didn't couple up with anybody.
Yeah. The only two. Yeah. No. Yeah.
We coupled up and we
had a fun
did whatever we wanted to do.
We had a blast. We we already told them, but I think that was on my live, mine and Dania's with you, about when we hid the was it tequila, vodka? I don't know.
It was tequila.
It was
tequila.
Yeah.
And we oh my God. So then what happened was we did this whole thing, and that's the night we passed out, like on the bed, and you were in your red, I don't know, you were like passed out with your red robe. I think you're running around with your red robe.
Lipstick was still on from the day.
And she turns like a clock, and we were like, okay, we know what time it is in the middle of the night, wherever she is. So if it's like this, it's 2 o'clock. Like this is 3, and then she rolls around like a clock in the bed.
Like I don't know why. And you know what? I'm lucky I never fell off that bed. I'm glad there was like a little rail. And then Stephanie, she don't move at all. She don't move at all. Like I was at the bottom, but Stephanie was on the top, and I never heard her move. The only time you hear her move is like if she's told like, okay, it's time to get up, like after the 5th time. Then all of a sudden Stephanie will be down here, and then she just pops up.
Well, I was the only one that was up late. I mean, like, I had to sleep, so.
Yeah.
I slept until the very end. I couldn't. I mean,
he didn't care. He was like, I'll be there right before filming. I will show up when I need to show up. And you did. You showed up when it was time to film, so.
They're like, where's Stephanie? Oh, she's up and sleeping.
Sometimes
the producers had to come and wake me up and say, okay, it's time to go.
She'll be in the bed or getting ready because she laid in the bed, and then she's getting up when Stephanie feels like it.
Well, I had to come to the story about, I don't know if it was a day, maybe it was a few days after, where we already had a party, and sometimes they'd leave the liquor out. The producers aren't supposed to keep it out because we weren't allowed to drink in the house at all. So everybody knows this. We were not allowed. It is not allowed to, because it's a liability. So whenever we'd have these little parties that you see, our costume party and like dancing party, they would give us a treat of a couple of drinks, and that would be it, right?
Yeah.
Your birthday party, they gave us an extra drink. So we had like 3 drinks, which was great.
Yeah.
So I think maybe 4 times. Well, when we were there, Kiki and I, there was like 3-4 times at the most where we would be able to drink. So
and literally right before that, maybe 1 or 2, and it was just like 1 or 2. So about the same.
Exactly. So so we So I think you guys I think you confiscated, or Scott did, a bottle of something the day before we came. So you guys had the idea, and you guys were successful. So you were like, so Trish, you were like, let's do it. Let's get it. I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I grab a bottle of, I don't even know what it was. If it's tequila, maybe. And you and I get it out of the box that they have laying on the counter after the party, and we just go up and we're like little kids. We're gonna stash this. So we go all the way up to the top of the floor to the laundry room, and you should have seen us where Trish. I think this is after your birthday party. So we're all in our costumes, right? So we're up there, and she has the Confidiva fairy outfit. I've got my metal mama outfit on, and we're up there, and she's pushing me up to get to the very top cabinet over the laundry, over the washing. And so the next day, Trish and I were off, like, because we didn't have to film anything. They're like, you enjoy your day, you just lay by the pool, do whatever. We had no media, we had no TV, no internet, anything, no phones. So we're like, oh my gosh, let's get this stash. Let's do it. So we filled it up, whatever. We enjoyed. We hung out by the pool, talked, got to know each other while everybody else had to film. And then what happened after that? Like,
we just came downstairs, and then I think it was Joel, like, heard us, like, because
Scott.
Was it Scott?
Because he's super tall, and so we're like, can you go get us that bottle in the laundry room? We stashed it.
Then he got it out. Okay.
Because he's super tall. He's like 6'6" or something. So he brought it down, filled up our cups, and then stashed it and hid it away in a drawer in the kitchen. Well, we forget we have our microphones on at all times. So Trish and I were like giddy. We're like, oh my gosh, we just did this. We're like badass bitches, right? All of a sudden, the executive producer, Joel, comes out and confiscates it right where Scott put it, came out and is like, we can't do that anymore.
Well, and I thought he was joking at first. I really did. I thought he was just being funny because it was a day off. It was a Sunday. I thought, why can't we drink? But no, he did. He took it. And we looked at each other like two little kids again. Like, he seriously just took it from us. Now and drink. Nothing to finish this series off.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was embarrassing, actually. It felt like little kids, but it was just so funny. But anyway, they can lose their jobs over that, apparently. So
yeah. So no, they did it. They did what they were supposed to do. So good for them.
Yeah, but I felt so stupid. I'm like, oh my God, this is so stupid. But it's like we're trying to find our own fun because everybody else is coupled up.
They got men. We didn't have anything.
We didn't have anything. We had each other in a bottle of tequila.
We were having fun. I remember that last scene too, Stephanie. Do you remember this, the last day? And this was so funny because, do you remember you were floating on the big float, the one me and Grant was on, and it's just like, we couldn't get, but do you remember that was the cutest little scene? And I don't think I've seen it in the part of any of the trailer or anything, when you were on the big float and you were splashing and all that at the very end. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they were supposed to use it for some outtakes or intakes or something, and no, they didn't use any of our footage. So
hopefully if they, if everyone, says, about the second season and go into it, that they can maybe that's what they're doing, girl. That's what they're doing. They're saving this stuff.
I hope.
They're saving it later because everybody wants to see it. I want to see it. You want to see it. You know.
We had like the whole Soul Train thing go on the last day, party with our kids. We all jumped in the pool a few times together. It was so cute. And I'm just so sad that they didn't show that part as an outtake, because I think people would really enjoy having a kid and the parent do the dancing thing on the Soul Train line. And it was so cute.
It was the funnest thing, and then I have to tell you this too. I wanted to tell everyone that when Brennan was like talking about you, when I watch the show over and I see Brennan and how much he cares and wants, to find you love, Stephanie. Like that's you talk about me and Whitney having a bond, baby. You and Brennan do too. Like he really, really wanted to find mama love. Like sometimes he would get upset when the things were going on. He's like, oh man, why did we do that? So, I mean, I just wanted to applaud you for you and Brennan because, you talk about me and Whitney and what, we have this bond. So do you and Brennan, the same thing. You know? he's got the same thing Whitney has. We all four have that same connection. You know, all of us parents do with their kids. But while I'm on the phone with you, I wanted you to know that you have the same thing going on. Your son truly cares about you and wants to find you love, and you know, it'll be the right time for me and you both. It just wasn't our time, you know.
Right.
And I'm not mad at it. Are you upset about it or anything? Because I'm
no,
not.
I just wish that my dates weren't cut. I wish I had an opportunity to have like a full date with somebody. I was cut after, like, it started and then it stopped, so I wasn't able to really be able to get with anybody, honestly.
Yeah, and to get to know you, because I mean, you know, we were talking before where you came in later, so nobody really got to know Stephanie for Stephanie, you know, where I was there the whole time. But no, I mean, I think what was meant to be was meant to be, and I'm just blessed and happy I met you beautiful ladies and these kids, you know. I'm truly. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, as you said, Trish, as you said that you fell in love with the crew,
Yes.
the cast. You know, that was falling in love with yourself and the cast. Same, I feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, that was our purpose for this time around. You know what I mean? I mean, if they have a second one, I mean, they can bring some other men on there, and you know, me and Stephanie might fall in love. You know what I mean?
So I don't know. I just wanted to share. I thought that was really fun that you and I got to have that bond and those experiences together, because we were the only ones that didn't make, for females, didn't make a love connection.
Yes.
And so I wanted to share that with the audience or the viewers, our little take on how we, you know, bonded, and, you know, a little Thelma and Louise gone wild, Mom's gone wild moments, but it was a great memory, and I'm really happy that you and I did that together.
Yes, I wouldn't have it any other way. We clicked. We clicked when I met Brennan, because I knew I was gonna love you to death, and we did.
Aww.
You were everything that Brennan said you were gonna be and more. So it was just like, that's Brennan's mom right there, walking in right there.
Yeah, I know it was you too. So tell the viewers. I know, you know, some viewer, I assume that all the viewers here have watched the show. I'm assuming this. I don't know if that's correct, but so tell everyone a little bit about what was your most favorite moment on the show, outside of meeting everybody, of course. Like, you know, we already know all that, but just like specifically what.
Okay. I think my favorite, since, you know, as far as like connecting with no men, I didn't really, you know, so I would say my favorite part was literally when we were all on that bunk bed that night, and it was all of us women on one bunk bed, and, you know, and we were, because we all walked into that room thinking, oh my God, how are we going to live in this room, and all that. And then those conversations that night on the bunk bed with all of us ladies on one bunk bed, and I said, look, ladies, look around right now. I said, now, we thought when we first came in this house that we couldn't put all of our stuff in here, and we were like, oh my goodness. And I said, we're all sitting on one bed, one little twin bed, you know, having conversations, you know, between us women, that I don't think that right there was the bond between you women that hit me with each and every one of y'all, because it was just like, we're all so different, but we all come from such familiar situations, just like our kids. So to me, that was that moment of probably one of my favorite, most memorable moments. You know, if it was all of us women together, you know, that one. And of course the birthday party, because that meant more to me. You know, they didn't have to do a whole episode about a birthday party, the money they spent. You know me, I'm thinking about money and time, and you know, and that just, to me, I was like, I don't know if we could ever top that birthday, ladies. So we're going to have to, you know, they at least, if they ever do the season in July, they got to bring all of us back to have the birthday.
Totally.
You know, because we are the party. So they got to bring us back for that at least. So I think that's my most memorable favorite moment, I think, when all of us women bonded, and coming from all kinds of different places, but yet similar, you know, backgrounds with, you know, being divorced and having children and things. So I think that's probably mine. But I did want to tell you, Tori, on here, remember, we were talking, and so, you know, Whitney, and then you was asking how old my one daughter Tori was. Well, she was on here saying hi, ladies, because she cannot wait to hang out with you, Steph. She can't wait.
I can't wait either. I hear you tell me that she and I are very similar.
Very, very. Like, you guys are going to hit it off really good. So I seen it earlier, and I just wanted to make sure. But what was your, like, did you already say your most memorable, like, your favorite time, like your most, like, I'm sure.
Yeah. Actually,
Because there's so many.
there's a couple, but I really love the shaman day. Like, that was really intense and deep. And I found out something about myself that I didn't realize and recognize, and it happened right there. That everybody sees what happened, and that was real. I started crying before it even began, and I was moved. And I'm not generally a crier, and I know that you are.
Remember when I told you that day? I said, "Do not flip." Like, I started trying to be stronger and be like more of a Stephanie, like come in, like, because you came in like, you know, you're doing your thing. This is Stephanie. She's a strong woman. And then you at the end, you know, you breaking down crying, you got vulnerable. So remember me telling you, I was like, it's almost like we switched for like 2 seconds. Like, I took your strongness and you took the vulnerable side, like, let it out. You can cry, you can do these things. And I'm like, yeah, I am a bad bitch, you know?
Yes.
You know, and that's what you women are teaching me. And I'm going to say that too. But, you know, going on the show, you know, women do tend, or maybe some men, they tend to forget like how strong they are, you know, and, you know, coming into the house and meeting Stephanie and all you beautiful women, it brings you back to go, you are strong enough. And that's what you need, you know, that empowerment from other women, uplifting women. So I think that's, you know, that was probably another thing that I'm so thankful for. Thank you so much, honey. Sorry, I'm paying my tab because my plane is taking off in like probably 15 seconds or 15 minutes.
Yeah. We got it. So everybody who's joined, Patricia is at the airport during connecting flights because she just finished the fun birthday like weekend, long weekend with Dania. Dania just turned 45. So wish her a happy birthday. We have our cheers to go for Dania and for all of us here. From my mom, your dad, and appreciate the viewers that come and watch us and join us on these lives. But I know you got to go, and we are coming to a close here. You know, this is Trish and Steph, Metal Mama and Confidiva on
right.
Live. And if you just missed the first half, I'll just go ahead and put this on my YouTube in the next day or two. And you can watch it again. But thanks so much, Trish, for joining me in your hustle and bustle. And I can't tell that if you have a tan or not. I'm sure you're just like
a little.
Woo!
Just a
Holy moly!
You know.
Holy moly! I love it. I look so pale compared to you.
No. Hey, that's okay. That's okay, girl. You look gorgeous. We're good.
All right, baby. Well, I'll talk to you sooner than later, I'm sure. Yeah. And you have a safe flight home. And we'll see you guys all next Wednesday. I'm going to have Kiki on, and she's a ball of fun. I love this woman, Kiki. So we'll see that next week. So anyway, have a great night, everybody, and cheers. Finish drinking up. All right. See you later, everyone. Bye.